Welcome and good evening to Adventures in DeFi Kingdoms. Raph streaming to you live high by the keep in the hot air balloon. Tonight, as always, Neindorf, how you doing?
Not too bad. I'm trying to keep my voice together here for you guys.
I appreciate it. Yeah, you're Lazarus emerging from the dead here. How you feeling?
Yeah.
Did you get a resurrection ability cast on you?
Oh yeah, you only get to use Second Life once though, so I got to be careful now.
Yeah, that's right. All right. Well, we got a heck of a show planned right now. A lot of stuff going on in our ADFK guild and community. A lot of stuff going on in the Fight Club community. Really happy to get to it. Any question of the day that you got lined up for us?
I guess personally, this is kind of a just a random question, I guess. But what's the next class you'd like to see from the skill trees? That is.
Oh, okay. Next class I'd like to see. I would say Dark Knight. Really excited about Dark Knights.
You want to jump to the advanced, huh?
Yeah.
I
I don't
I
know. I
want
want
to
to see a
see the
thief. I want to
thief
see
get some
thief.
love. Yeah.
Yeah, that's one of my favorite heroes that I have in my repertoire right now. What do you think they're going to do with the thief? Do you feel like it's going to be an assassin, or do you feel like it's going to be like debuff king?
You know, it, I I was actually I was chatting with somebody about this recently, and you know, I also think there could be something. And maybe I don't know how well this will play without there being weapons or special armor, but it would be really sweet if they could like steal your sword or
Yeah.
something like that too,
I mean, I
or
could see
the
that happening in
backstab stuff.
PvP, maybe like unequipped
There
your
you
weapons
go.
in
Yep.
PvP, or the other way around. In PvP, or PvE, you could steal, and then unequipped in PvP. That would be neat.
Yeah, that would be really cool. Just like those those things that are like super annoying. And he obviously it seems like the thief probably is going to be a little squishier, but I
Hmm.
could also see him being very evasive too.
Yeah,
So I think it'll be a fun one.
that'd be awesome. All right, well, let's get some thief love going on in chat. What do you guys think
Yeah.
the skills or the abilities are going to be? Drop a note in chat and be curious to see what you say. All right, so let's go to Dev Dive. We just let's talk what you've been working on, and then we can go to we just dropped something new on the site a few minutes ago.
Yeah, we did. So I guess yeah, in this last week I've not been doing a whole lot. I've been kind of recovering, but I think we've got a couple, couple people been signing up. We've got some guild members joining different guilds. I think that's a really cool feature. I've got more cool ideas to add to the guild feature in the future. Um, I'm also working on uh, somewhat redoing some of the hero data such that right now, if you like click on my heroes, you get the giant list, right?
Hmm.
But there's only so much that can fit in a row. So I think I'm going to have pages. So you could be like, I want to see visual information. I want to see ability information. I want to see,
Okay.
that way you can kind of click through different pages and not have to like reload the page. So that's kind of one thing I'm thinking about starting to build here is just to kind of fill all of the bait, all of the data here, so you can see it all without having to click away. Um, and I think that might be something else that you'll see more in the future is trying to consolidate some of our pages. I don't know if you peruse the site, there's actually a lot of the page tree is actually fairly complicated now. And so I'm kind of thinking of trying to consolidate it and maybe make it a little more intuitive for newer users.
Hmm. Yeah. There's so much information going on. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that. Well, we also dropped another blog by yours truly here.
Oh
Um,
yeah.
It's the second in my article series, Combat Consideration Hero Stats. I kind of gave everyone a preview to this when we had the brilliant effects on the last time we were podcasting. Well, you missed that one, but I know you caught it afterwards. And
Right.
and so we started talking about stats, and I've released kind of my stats write up in between a couple things. If you go check this out, I'll drop the link to the blog in YouTube here. 1 second. Let me open up YouTube.
Nice image there, man. We've been having way too much fun with these.
with Stable Diffusion.
Yeah, the AI image generators is way too much fun.
Yep, that's my girlfriend there. Don't tell, don't tell the Gen Zero. Um, all right, so a couple of things here. Yeah, a lot of fun with Stable Diffusion, and then also something new here. We have embedded a Power BI report into into the website. So come check this out. This is still a static Power BI report, which means it only updates every time that I click the update button or you yell at me and tell me to click the update button. So if this kind of information is useful for you, let us know and we can start to incorporate this and share it in more blog posts. There's a few different pages here on the Power BI website and a lot of different things that you can look at. What I was actually trying to look at here, actually speaking of thieves, I was looking at luck and seeing where the luck stats are. But when you open this up on the Power BI web portal, there's a few pages. We have a stats page where you can look at any one of the individual hero stats and you get a histogram essentially of where the hero stats lie. And then over here on the right hand side, you get a table. And so if you want to just search by like really high values, you can look at what that is. Or low values, you could do that too. So the highest value is a 63 on luck right now. And that is a mythic level 16 thief.
Wow.
And my guy is down here,
Oh, down,
49 at
down,
level
huh?
13.
That's not
Um,
very far down, by the way.
yeah, it's yeah, it
Uh,
is. Air's a little more full here. It's not. I'm not quite in the clouds up here. There is this guy here, 51, who's level 11. This guy is.
whoa.
He had a greater stone. I'm pretty sure. I looked him up. A little luck envy going on here, maybe.
No kidding.
And so then you can jump over into average sum of stats by hero. And so like level 20 right now, the average, not including HP and MP, 282. If you see over here on the right hand side of the table, it means that there's too much stuff going on for this to calculate. And so if you click on any one of the bars, then it limits the data set, and then you get a pretty good idea. So you could go through all 282 heroes that are level 20 and see what you're up against. Or excuse me, not all 282 heroes. It is level 20. This total's not right here. It's however long a couple mouse scrolls are. So not that many heroes that are level 20. You could count them up if you're interested. You can click on all sorts of different classes up top. Right now it has them all selected, but if you want to just look at archers, you can see that. And then
Dude,
what
that's super powerful.
Effects and I talked about for a long time were box and whisker charts.
Mm,
And
yep.
so really excited to present this information and start looking for value in finding heroes that have leveled far above their mean and heroes that have potentially leveled to the next advanced class ahead of them. I think that's a huge opportunity. One of the things that was my big takeaway in the article that I wanted to point out again is when you look at the average sum of stats for a Dark Knight, it's 163 compared to 152.
Hmm.
And then if you, right now I'm looking at level 12 and level 13. So then if you look over here, it's 167 and 177. And so one way to kind of think about this conceptually that I thought was a bit strange was an advanced class is almost like worth a level. It's kind of like a simple way to kind of a simpleton's way to do it. And
Well,
so
yeah.
another way to think about it is like, if you had a Dread Knight, you could come in at level 16 and be fighting level 20 archers, and you're
Well,
probably going to
and
be all
that's
right.
actually probably that stacks. It's a level at level 12.
Right.
So at level 24, it's probably two levels.
Yeah, you're right
You know what I mean?
because of the growth rates. Yeah.
Right. Your growth rates will start to, they'll dovetail up over
Yeah.
time. So I think right now you're right. I think that, and that's going to, I think those deltas will grow even more significantly as we
Hmm.
get a higher percentage of heroes up to the 20 mark. I
Yeah.
mean, I
And
just
so,
hit my first 14 today, which was
ooh,
really cool.
that is
And
awesome.
that hero had never had a stand pot either. So I thought that was
Wow,
a lot of grinding.
for sure. And then you can sort by rarity as well and get an idea for how your mythics are doing. And mythics are doing a lot better, which is no surprise because there's a lot of also other variables in the mix. Like, you're probably using crystals or stones on a mythic.
Yeah,
So,
that's a good point.
all right. So that's the article. Feel free to check it out. Lots of conversation here. This is leg one of the four-legged stool. So hopefully you guys enjoy this and check it
And
out.
I think we have more members and more people in the community looking to put more articles out too, don't we? So we should probably be looking forward for those.
Yeah, for sure. We have quite a few people chomping at the bit, sending me some images, some pictures, information. So really excited to get those out and deliver those to you guys. All right. So next on the agenda, I want to talk about Fight Club. We had some really exciting news drop earlier today, as he usually does. Connix goes into the lab and then pops out with some awesome updates. And so I kind of want to split this into two sections here. One talking about the Fight Club changes, and I'm going to try to bring those up on screen, but I just reset my computer this weekend and I lost my logins on about everything. So I had to reset a lot of settings. Let's go to patch notes. So if you go over, navigate over to, where is it? I can't find it now. Did you see where the new stuff?
I think it's just an announcements of,
In announcements. There it is.
yep, that's where I see it.
Okay. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to link to the message because I'm not going to be able to bring it up on OBS right now. And I'm going to drop this in YouTube chat because if you're not in the Fight Club Discord already, you should be in the Fight Club Discord. So go ahead and jump over into the announcements there. Go read it for yourself. We have Legionnaires, which I think are going to be meta changing. And their abilities are Battle Command. Your team's next skill does double damage. And Shield Wall. For the next 3 turns, your mid and backline don't take damage. And these don't require meter. So Shield Wall
Those are crazy skills.
Shield Wall doesn't require meter. That means that all of these archers that have been meta defining, or pirates using their cannon barrage, or the dragoons trying to jump in from the back line. Well, no,
Yeah,
they could still do that actually.
spells, right? That
A lot
hit.
of those spells. I mean, I think this is really interesting. And this is one of the things I love about meta games, is as soon as you have something that like starts to break the meta, then it's like people will start building towards, shield wall heroes. And then all of a sudden, there's going to be counterplay to that too. And so I think
Right.
it opens up so many new options and opportunities.
Right. Like, how do you got to get that front? You got to do serious damage to that frontline hero then because you can't hit anybody else.
Hmm.
So do you try to burn him or poison him or what?
Yeah. Yeah. So then we go to Scholar, another new class here, movement-based healing, or as I think Connix called it in one section, big brain healing. Rescue, move back 1 space, then heal the character in front of you for 45. Very interesting. Wish, at the end of your next turn, heal your frontline hero by 90 HP. Also interesting. I mean, that's a pretty big hero, and both of those are again 0 cost skills. So I think
Right.
there's going to be a lot of fun in the baby weight.
No kidding. Yeah. That speaks to me that we need to get another baby weights tournament scheduled because these are going to be. Let's get some of these off the market.
And we absolutely have a baby weight tournament going on next Thursday. A very special baby weight tournament going on next Thursday. And once we get through the hero abilities, we'll talk about that next.
Very nice.
So let's get to Spellbow, Ice Blast. This was on the Wizard. It's now moved to the Spellbow. Deals 75 damage, reduces speed by 25%. I love this skill. I actually like it more than Fireball. That speed reduction, I just feel is like that, control dynamic. I think of playing blue or white Magic the Gathering decks where they're often based around controlling the tempo of play. I think that's a really powerful ability.
Oh yeah.
And then Searing Arrow burns and silences the midline enemy. So boy, midline enemies are taking a real nerf this time around, which they're pretty powerful. So I think this is really fascinating. And your spell bows are going to be pretty fast, aren't they?
I
With that high dexterity in Fight Club.
I
So
think so.
yeah.
Well, they'll be accurate at least. I don't know.
Well, in Fight
You
Club
know.
they'll be fast because the dex plays
Oh,
into
and like
speed so much. So
correct. You are correct.
yeah. All right, then Summoner, you get Spell Shield. Your team cannot be interrupted next turn. I mean, just so much fun. Like if you get that off, like you have the ability to do so many interesting things. It really opens up a lot. And then summon Elemental, summon a random Elemental if you have space. If you have a dead hero, you can bring an Elemental into the battlefield. Wow, that's pretty neat.
Yeah.
I think Spell Shield. I think Spell Shield is going to see a lot of play
I hope
because
so.
you can't be interrupted, so it's gonna open up a lot of stuff. Monk, Kai Blast, 3 bar, 300 damage gets changed to Annihilation, 80 damage per meter, and so it's available at multiple levels of play. I really love that smart upgrade. And then the Sage, we have big effects. That's what the Sage is going for. So there's Vigor Mortis. Your front line heals for 200, gains 40 attack, and becomes poison times 3 and burning. So
Ooh.
quite an interesting trade-off there. The gains 40 attack is pretty neat. Um, Earthquake, which is a 2 meter skill, at the end of the next 3 turns, deal 50 damage and silence the enemy front line. So, again, apologies for our YouTubers out there. Hopefully, you went directly um, to the Fight Club server to check this out. Follow the link. Drop some, drop some Pepe love here, or Peepo love, and make sure you let Conix know that he did an awesome job with these. I'm really excited to see where this goes. What do you think, kind of looking at this?
Yeah, I think you're right. I think the biggest thing is, like you said, I think some of the meta is going to change for these weight classes. I think we're gonna have to rethink some things. And yeah, spell shield, I mean, can be interrupted. Like that is actually huge. Like
Mm-hmm.
there's situational points when you just cross a meter barrier where you're gonna drop that and be like, now you don't get a choice, I'm gonna come, this is gonna hit and it's gonna hit hard. It's gonna be like, who's gonna die, basically.
Right. It's like, and then when you're playing the guessing game, trying to interrupt, and they could use their, like, if they could use Cleave or they could use Spell Shield and then use Cleave,
Right.
it puts you into a guessing game that is really tough to deal with. It adds to the mind games again, which is great.
Oh, totally. Cat and mouse. That puts more depth to the cat and mouse. I think that'll make this game even better.
Yeah. All right. So the big announcement that we have next here, and let me actually, while I try to bring this up on screen, I'll have you stall for time.
Sure.
So
I
disorganized today.
I did just see an announcement rolling from the actual team just as we're on air here about
Oh
their
yeah,
patch notes. I just perused through it real quick. It's basically Dual Season 3 is basically a year. So that was pretty quick.
that's awesome.
They're turning things around. When it comes to duels, I'm actually kind of impressed. They're iterating pretty quickly, and I think they're doing some good changes between seasons and making it so that it's new and fun a little bit for these users while we wait for the bigger PvP features.
All right, so we weren't going to be outdone by our spreadsheet brethren over there in the Fight Club, or excuse me, the DFK team with their launch for level 10 pets. And so what I have up on screen right now is we are taking Fight Club over to the main Discord. And so we expect to greatly ramp up the impact and the playability of what we have going on in the game. And we are planning right now on launching on 3/2, and so that is next Thursday. It's going to be next Thursday night. We are planning on launching a speed tournament, and Fight Club is going to be then playable in the main Discord. And we're going to have full tournament functionality over there. And I'm just really excited for this. The team has agreed to having stone packs available, crystal packs available, egg packs available that we're going to be doing for giveaways, that are going to be raffle prizes based on entry into that tournament. So I'm really excited about this. We got the new abilities. They're out actually early ahead of schedule. Connex, knocked it out of the park. We now need to go test those new abilities and then get over there into the main Discord. So excited about this. I think it's going to really bring a lot more eyes over into the Fight Club game. Hopefully, a lot more internationalized too, like a lot of users who may not be familiar with it. And we're looking for our followers and all you Fight Club lovers out there in the Discord to help us spread the good word, help people get set up, get things going and rolling, and then join those tournaments. Because the more tournaments that we have, the more opportunities for us all to win, and for the raffle ticket prizes to continue to become more and more important.
Yeah, and I think it's important to note too that you don't have to do any more configuration for the people who are already playing in the existing Fight Club Discord. It's just kind of another portal to get to the game, if you will. So you don't have to. Your loadouts and your teams are still the same. Is that correct?
That's right. That's right. Everything is going to be the same. I believe we'll still have dungeons only going on in the main Fight Club, but you're absolutely right. Your loadout teams are going to be the same across and being kind of governed by the same Fight Club bot. So the way that Connex is setting it up is super smart.
Yeah, I love it, and I think it'll be great. Like you said, we'll get more people playing, get some fresh eyes in. Maybe it's kind of one of those things that the more people you get playing, the more opportunity there are for tournaments. Like you said, the more opportunity there is for some of these crazy matchups that we've seen. And again, it's just more people using their NFTs.
Yeah, we'd love to get your guys' ideas on what you'd like to see. One tournament format that we were thinking about is having raffle tickets as a prize in tournaments. And if you think about it, the way that would work then is, everyone's buy-in goes towards buying raffle tickets, which means that the pot for raffle tickets gets enormous at the top 4 places, or maybe even the top 8 places. And we'd probably do like a raffle ticket system, like we have a raffle ticket system on the raffle tickets. And by that I mean we provide payouts for places 1 through 4, and then there would probably be a couple other random payouts where people's names would go into drawings. And then every win that you get in that tournament, you get an additional name into that drawing. So we could have, another 10,000 raffle tickets that we'd be giving out that way. That's something that we've thought about before. And AP or Aaron Price. I think Aaron Price is AP. I don't know. Correct me if I'm wrong. Huge for the DFK community. It says basics only tournament or casters only tournament. Yeah, that'd be pretty neat too. I can't wait to get to implementing some more creative tournaments like that. I think the tournament structure that Connex has set up would eventually allow for different rule sets if we can kind of define what those rule sets are.
Yeah, and obviously we got to be, a little. We can't ask for everything because it gets really difficult if you want to do all these permutations. But things like those ideas are great, and I think that is totally doable. And it would just be a fun thing, like, or maybe it's you got to pick your class and you have to have the same 3 class. Like, oh, you're going to pick a knight? Well, you got to have 3 knights then. It's like, oh, like.
Yeah. All right. So that is the Fight Club alpha that we have for you guys. So, what questions do you have for us? And we'll, as you guys are kind of thinking through those and bringing them up, we talked to hero stats in the dev dive section. Last but not least, uh, weekly reminder that I'm collecting feedback on the questions that I should ask the Wisdom Gaming dev team as I go to Wisdom Labs in Minneapolis. That trip is now only 2 weeks away. Actually, I will have returned from my trip 2 weeks from now. So, really looking forward to being out there, asking the team a bunch of questions. So if you have suggestions on the questions that I need to ask, please shoot me a DM, drop it in the chat over in the ADFK Discord. Would love to hear what you guys want to know. I'm going there as an emissary for the community. So please give me some ideas of what questions to ask. Should we ask Bolon any embarrassing questions? Like, we need to get him on video, ask him something silly. Let me know what it is.
Oh yeah, I mean, I think we've got a pretty good repertoire of questions, but there's a lot of stuff that you guys have thought of that we haven't. So yeah, definitely shoot those ideas to us.
All right, so I have fully clarified that AP is Aaron Price equals AP from KC equals Chiefs fan. So all right, very good.
That's acceptable.
Yeah, not a bad time to be a Chiefs fan either, Aaron Price.
Right.
All right. Well, any other? I mean, I feel like I'm losing my voice here tonight.
Yeah, I know.
Anything else that you wanted to cover before we go for the night?
I guess one thing I did forget. I was chatting with Zipper a little bit. And, in the previous AMA, they mentioned that they're moving to these like diamond contracts on chain, which is really cool. And I've done some research on it. But one thing for anybody else out there who is a builder or using some of these Quester tools, be patient with the builders because there's going to be a Quest Core 3 release, and so there'll be some amount of change that us builders will have to do to basically sync up with the on-chain changes. So I think I was just going to kind of note that for you guys that there could be some nuance around Questers or questing if you do it through code. So just keep a lookout for that, everybody.
For sure. All right. AP has a question. Are we doing summons night? I don't have anything prepared, but you know what? I'll jump over into the ADFK Discord chat, and if anyone wants to talk summons, welcome to do that and get your DGen on.
So I got a pair lined up. I might do. It's a Sage with an elite and a Dragoon with a matching elite.
Oh,
so
yes.
I'm not sure if I'm gonna have the stomach
stones
to pull the trigger quite
the
yet.
Stones, both figuratively and literally.
Okay, exactly.
For pulling the trigger on a tranny, huh?
Yeah, that's the hope.
Okay, cool. All right, well then that's the tease. If we get 5 people over there, maybe we can get nine Nerf to pull the trigger. I remember
we gotta get the good vibes rolling first,
Right. And I remember in college, it only took 2 people to convince you to go out. I remember my roommate, so we had, it was Neindorf, myself, and we had one other roommate who was a great friend of ours, or still is a great friend of ours. And he and I would always be able to convince Neindorf to go to the bars. And if we'd ever go ask Neindorf first, he'd be like, nah, I got school to do. I got busy stuff tomorrow morning. But then what we would have to do is convince the other roommate, who was very easy to convince, or he would convince me, and then we would both go to Neindorf, and he would buckle under the peer pressure of 2. So,
it's like, I don't want to miss out. I mean, come on, guys.
Yeah.
Good times. Yeah.
All right. Well, let's jump over to Summons Night, and we'll see you guys there.
Later.